one thing that's been very central to your role has been the kind of rebrand from Facebook to Meta. I'm too interested by this, man. Like, why?
Well, just like the media said, I came up with it and we did it in 3 weeks.
Yeah, it took you that long. I mean, they literally did, didn't they?
I shouldn't use sarcasm because then it just gets quoted out of context. I shouldn't have done that.
And with video, you've got additional.
Yeah, look, I mean, I think there was the biggest thing for me is that there was confusion between Facebook, the company, and Facebook, the app. Huh. And so for consumers, there was real confusion when Facebook showed up in their WhatsApp. And they were like, well, what does that mean? And we might be, clever executives who know the difference between a company and an application. But realistically, even for us, it's confusing when someone says, oh, I talked to Facebook today. Oh, I work at Facebook. Like, what do you mean? Do you work at Facebook and you're in Instagram? Or do you mean you work at Facebook, the app inside Facebook? And so that confusion really, really mattered. And it showed up, by the way, in things like when we did the WhatsApp privacy policy and said, now your data will be shared with Facebook Inc. for the limited amount of data, which is shared just for analytics purposes with all the constraints because WhatsApp is hyper private. Even in that case, people got very confused and it was damaging for the company and it was damaging for those brands. So distinguishing what the corporate entity was from the app, I think was the kindest thing for media, like politicians, investors, but also just the consumers of the app. So getting rid of that confusion was one. 2, all the innovative stuff that was going inside the company was really being blocked from flowing to the company brand. Because when people saw the company brand, they were so dominated by the name that defines social media that if we're doing something really interesting in virtual reality and they see the word Facebook, it doesn't flow up. Or on WhatsApp, we're doing something super innovative around encryption and privacy, and they see the word Facebook, they instantly think of the app, they don't think of WhatsApp. So having something distinct from the individual apps that they could think about meant that the good from Facebook would flow to that, but so would the good from the other apps, and you could think of that company as doing more than just like one component of what we do. So it was a broadening thing for the brand of the company. So yeah, confusion and broadening the brand of the company, I think, was really, really important in the change.
Does it silo lessons, learnings, and people? Like the one thing that you could say is that it creates more ownership. When Instagram's killing it and you're in the Instagram team, amazing compared to just like Facebook, where it's much more homogenous. But does it prevent learnings being transferred, and does it create silos?
No, I mean, that's something you handle internally from how you run the company. So like, for example, analytics, we have a pillar leads forum for all the analytics leads of the different apps. We also
what, a pillar lead?
A pillar lead. So the pillars of the company. Ads is analytics pillars of the company, not the pillar. So ads is a pillar, Reality Labs is a pillar, like Facebook app is a pillar, Instagram is a pillar. So those leads meet and they talk about the things that they've learned. We then do reviews with the VPs, the product group leaders across the company every week where we show interesting insights from analytics. Like every single week we do this. Once a quarter when the earnings call comes, we actually review all of the data behind the earnings call with all the leaders and what's driven, like, say, an out of band success on in-feed recommendations on Facebook and hasn't transferred to Instagram. And we talk about that. We have leaders that run things cross company. So Adam Masseri runs Reels for the company. He also runs Instagram. So he makes sure the Reels learnings cut across the whole company. He's done an amazing job, by the way. The Reels stuff cut across the whole company. So we have processes to make sure data's flowing between silos. And honestly, it doesn't matter what the company's called as to whether that happens. You can build a culture that does learn and share or a culture that doesn't. And we are one that does learn and does share.
I'm so pleased we went for lunch beforehand and I feel built a rapport because I can ask a harder question. Why Meta as a name? I think people instantly think of metaverse, which is transient in terms of consumer excitement. Why Meta?
I think we're mapping out the future that we believe in. Like, we're a company that does connect people. The red thread in our brand, like Meta is about connecting people in innovative and inspiring ways. At the extreme, that's virtual and mixed and augmented reality experiences. But honestly, that starts with intimate conversations over WhatsApp. And so our brands in our branded house are Meta, we connect people in awesome and inspiring ways, innovative. Facebook, it's about social discovery. The first thing we ask you is find your friends, people you may know, pages you may like, groups you should join, social discovery. Instagram, it's connecting around creativity, whether that's resharing your favorite reel or posting a photo with a filter. And WhatsApp, it's intimacy through privacy. You can only be as intimate as you can possibly be and share the most important things to you if you know there are multiple layers of privacy protecting you. And so all of these things come together as ways people connect virtually. And what is the metaverse? It is a place where people connect virtually. And the end point of it is an embodied space that ideally goes with us the entire time because of augmented reality. But the steps on the way start with 2D interfaces where you are connecting virtually.
Do you think people jump straight away to metaverse, glasses, and completely actually misunderstand the very logical universe that you just portrayed?
Absolutely. But then that's my job as a CMO, right? Like, we need to tell that story. And also, we want people to know what the inspiring endpoint is that we're working towards.
Has the rebrand gone well?
I believe so. I mean, you can see Price Waterhouse releases this report every year, and we've gone from like 49 to 4th. I think that is extreme and short term and won't stay. But they measure the metrics pretty much that we measure, which is around like the future potential of this company and do you believe in that future potential? And that is what we wanted to unlock. We wanted people to know, as the second point I made, there are all these different things that we do as a company that are exciting and there for the future, and people are knowing it. And that was what we tried to do. So from the perspective of the metrics we're using to measure the goals that we had, again, metrics and goals are distinct. Goal is what you're trying to achieve. Metric is how you're measuring it. And a metric never perfectly describes a goal. But both internally, but independent verification like that PwC study, it's much better.